August 26, 1944. We are in the frozen north of Japan. The temperature is 30 degrees below zero. This is Abashiri Prison. Known as the Alcatraz of the East, it is the end of the line, the place where the empire sends its most dangerous criminals to be forgotten. Inside the most secure cell, a man named Yoshie Shiratori is shackled. He's wearing handcuffs made of solid iron, weighing nearly 20 pounds. The bolts are rusted shut. There are no keyholes. To remove them, a blacksmith has to cut them off with a chisel. The cell has no windows. The only way out is a rectangular food slot on the door, a hole smaller than a human head. At 5 a.m., a guard looks into the cell and his blood runs cold. The cell is empty. The heavy iron handcuffs are lying neatly on the floor, and the man vanished. There was no tunnel, no explosion, no open door. Yoshie Shiratori had just performed the most impossible prison break in history. To understand how he escaped, we have to understand why. Yoshie Shiratori wasn't a mastermind criminal. In 1933, he was a simple man, a tofu maker, and a gambler. He was accused of a robbery and murder that he swore he didn't commit. The police beat a confession out of him, and in 1936, he was thrown into Awamori Prison. The guards at Awamori made a fatal mistake. They didn't just lock him up, they tortured him. But pain didn't break Shiratori, it focused him. He began to watch. He memorized the guards' footsteps and their shifts. He realized that every morning at exactly 5:30 a.m., there was a 15-minute window where the hallway was empty, but he was locked behind a steel door. To open it, Shiratori looked at his wooden bathing bucket. He snapped off a thin metal wire wrapped around the rim. He now had a lockpick, but no training. Every night, he quietly slid the wire into the keyhole, teaching his fingers to see the mechanism inside. On June 18, 1936, during that 15-minute gap, he made his move. Click! The heavy door swung open. He placed loose floorboards under his duvet to look like a sleeping body. By the time the guards realized the trick, Shiratori was miles away in the mountains. He was free for 3 days before being recaptured. This time, the system was angry. In 1942, they moved him to Akita Prison and built a cell specifically for him. It was a concrete coffin. The walls were lined with smooth, polished copper sheets, so he couldn't get a grip. The ceiling was 10 feet high, with a tiny skylight protected by a heavy iron grid. The guards laughed at him, but Shiratori discovered his body was incredibly strong and flexible. Every night, he would slip out of his handcuffs by dislocating his thumbs. Then he would chimney his way up the smooth metal, pressing his back against one wall and his feet against the other, inching up like a human lizard. When he reached the top, he noticed the wooden frame of the skylight was slightly rotten. Night after night, he climbed up and scratched away a few millimeters of wood. On June 15, 1942, a massive typhoon hit the prison. Under the cover of thunder, he kicked out the frame and vanished into the storm. Eventually caught and sentenced to death, he was sent to Sapporo Prison. The guards were paranoid. They reinforced the ceiling and watched him 24/7. So, Shiratori looked down. Using a sharpened soup bowl, he spent his nights digging under his floorboards. In 1947, while the guards were busy staring at the ceiling, Yoshie crawled out through a tunnel and escaped for the 4th time. The story ends a year later on a park bench in Tokyo. Shiratori was tired. He had spent his entire adult life running. A police officer sat next to him and, not recognizing the fugitive, offered him a cigarette. It was a simple act of kindness, the first time a lawman had treated him like a human in 14 years. Shiratori started to cry. He took the cigarette and surrendered on the spot. His death sentence was revoked. He served his remaining time peacefully and was released in 1961. He died a free man in 1979.